Welcome back to my class. So in your last class, we have learned about autotrophic nutrition. So today we'll be learning about heterotrophic nutrition. Learning heterotrophic nutrition. So what do you mean by heterotrophic nutrition? It is a type of nutrition in which organisms depend upon other organisms for food to survive. In simple way, let's say it is a type of nutrition in which organisms depend on other organisms for their food to be alive. Or let's say this type of nutrition, animals are dependent on other organisms. Okay, for what? For food to be alive. So let's see what are the examples of this type of nutrition. Here is animals, fungi and non-photosynthesizing plants. So animals, basically when I say animals, in our mind only the pictures of certain animals like mostly like you know cow or like lions, all these things comes. But when I say animals, it also includes us. I mean, we human beings are also animals, and fungi and non-photosynthesizing plants. Fungi, example mushroom, they also depend on other organisms. And non-photosynthesizing plants simply means these are the plants which cannot synthesize their own food with the photosynthesis, so they depend on other organisms. Example, insectivorous plants, they also depend food on other organisms. So now form of nutrition, it differs between heterotrophs, so how it differs, let's see. The food source is stationary or mobile. The food source may be stationary or mobile. For example, stationary food. Here it is grass. What is this? These are grass and these are heterotrophs. So these heterotrophs animals, sheep, are eating grass. And the next we have is mobile. Mobile simply means it's a moving, can move from one place to another. So here you can see the food source that is mobile. So you can see here deer running. Okay, so this is mobile food source, and these are the heterotrophs which are chasing the deer. For these heterotrophs animals, this is the food, deer. Okay, now we'll be learning how the food is taken by the heterotrophs. Even the way of taking food differs in heterotrophs. So let's see it one by one. The first one is some organisms break down the food materials outside the body and then they absorb it. And it says this type of organisms break down the food materials outside the body and then they absorb it. Let's see what are those. These are the examples. Example fungi like bread, moss, yeast and mushroom. Here you can see in the picture, this is bread moss. So what they are doing here, they have, they break down the food materials outside the bodies and then they absorb it. The next we have is some organisms take in whole materials and break it down inside their bodies. So for example, humans, lions and rabbit. Let's see in humans, for example. Like when we take food, we take, for example, when we take rice, we take the rice as a whole. We don't break it down before we eat. So we take it as a whole, and the food is then it's break down inside our body system into simpler ones with the help of enzymes. The same thing goes here in lion and rabbit. So next we have is some organisms derive nutrition from plants and animals without killing them. It means, so in this such type of organisms, we have some type of organisms in heterotrophs which they derive nutrition from plants and animals by not killing them. Okay, they may, for example, certain types of organisms may take organisms from plants, but even though they will derive the nutrition from plants, but they will not take the nutrients by killing the plants. Okay, they take it by not killing the plants or without killing them. Let's see the examples. This is a cuscuta, ticks, lice, leeches, and tapeworms. Here we have cuscuta. So they are absorbing the nutrition from plants without killing the plants. And here goes the tapeworms. So they also the same thing. So here ticks, mostly if you have a dog at home, sometimes you may have the experience of this. The ticks, they will absorb the blood of that dog, and by not killing the dog, okay, they don't kill the dog, but they absorb the blood from the. Okay, so now we'll learn how do organisms obtain their nutrition. Great. So when I say single cell organisms, you know what is single cell organisms, isn't it? They are single cell organisms are having single cell, okay, and multicellular organisms are having multiple number of cells. So in single cell organisms, the food may be taken in by the entire surface, and then different parts become specialized to perform different functions. So let's see in amoeba. Okay, so uh, here you can see the nucleus of amoeba, and here you can see the food particle. So now you can observe carefully between this first structure of amoeba and the second one. You can see the difference between the first and second right here. This is the difference you can see here. So basically, how this amoeba takes food? They takes food how? By the temporary finger-like extensions of the cell surface, isn't it? You can see this extension of the cell right here. And then these are, what are these called? These are called pseudophoria. So this pseudophoria fuses with the food particles. You can see here, fuses with the food particles, and later they form a food vacuole. So you can see the food particle here inside the food vacuole. Actually, the food, then these food particles, the complex substances of this food is to break down into simpler ones, and later it's diffused into the cytoplasm. So the remaining undigested food particle is then thrown out of the cell. So this is how the amoeba takes the nutrition. Okay, the same type of organisms, single cell organisms, we can see in in paramecium. So basically in this paramecium also they have the particular spot where they take in the food. Basically they take the food by the help of cilia. You can see the hairy structure here. It's all over. You can see the outer surface here. This cilia, it helps to take the food particles inside the cells. Okay, so this all the unicellular organisms, how they take their nutrition. Thank you, students, for your kind attention, and I hope you all are doing good. And also, I want you to focus more on your studies and give your 100% in your home study, as things are not going normal how it used to be, how you used to go to school and learn. I hope you will work it out, and also I'll give my best. In your next class, I'll be teaching you nutrition in human beings. Until then, you can keep studying at home. Bye bye.